Okay, I hope this is streaming. Is it streaming now? Sure as heck looks like it. Alrighty. Let me set the stream up and get everything going. I'm redoing my stream that I did yesterday because let me exit out of that. Hang on. Sorry, let's see if I can really reduce how loud this gets in OBS and then reload it. Okay, does that change how loud it is in the playback? Let me kind of get that up a little bit more. Dun, 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 dun. Sound volume. Quiet. Ba, bam. There we go. Start a new game. Alrighty. So let's see what I can do with this. It's pretty loud, so I might have to talk up some. Let me reduce it a little bit more. That's one of the things that I noticed when I went back and listened to that other stream, is that it got so loud I couldn't even hear myself sometimes because of how loud it got. So let's see now. Let me kind of get this played up a little bit more so it's audible. And it's about minus 25 decibels. Nah, that's a bit too much. I'm monkeying around with the sound, sorry. So now it's minus 15. How about do minus 10? Minus 10. Because I can see my mic audio shooting off to the right on the little monitor thingy on the audio mixer on OBS. And it's shooting farther to the right when I talk than the audio does. So I'm assuming that means that it makes it so that you can hear what I'm saying. I hope so, at least. Bolton. I'm gonna come up with new names. Bolton. That guy looks kind of like a Bolton. New character type. Rogue. Rogue. Change character type. Archer. I'm gonna make this lady an archer. What's her name? I have a name generator app on my phone that I'm clicking through names for. Oh, Cassandra. It's the Fang Fantasy Name Generator app. Cassandra. The Archer. Bolton the Rogue. You know what? Cassandra can be a different character class. Archer. How about instead of an archer, she can be hedge wizard. Shaman. Shaman! How about Tessa? That's a good woman name. Tessa. It's either rogue or rebel. Rebel has decent skills in melee. Berserker might do. Okay. Berserker. New character type Shaman. Rebel Rogue. Give myself a bit more challenge. Tool use. The Rogue. Cassandra the Rogue. Tessa, how about a dude? Two dudes. The name for the dude. It's a good one. I'll just call him Arthur. Arthur. Bolton, Cassandra, Tessa, and Arthur. Okay. A more neutral, average, everyday kind of character setup than what I had last time. Last time was too memey, and I was worried I'd get, zucked for it. Normal. You are never going to see sunlight again. You will never breathe fresh air, or be warm and dry, or feel safe. This is your punishment. For your crimes, you are to be thrown into a magical portal and banished to Avernum, never to return. Your crime, nothing as serious as you might think. Not murder, arson, or assault. No, your crime was against the Empire, ruled by the cruel Emperor Hawthorne. You spoke out against an unjust law, or you angered some minor official, or you may just have been a misfit. The Empire controls the entire surface. Oh, whoops. Hang on, sorry. I pressed the wrong button. I'm trying to move the window. The Empire controls the entire surface of the world. All 4 continents have completely submitted to its rule. Not fitting in is a crime in the Empire, so you are being exiled. You are being sent down to Avernum. Avernum is a series of caverns far below the surface of the world. It is a dark subterranean prison, a place where exiles like you spend the rest of their lives, far from the light. What is it like there? Nobody on the surface knows. All they know is that it is a dark and deadly place. It is spoken of only in whispers and only with fear. Some believe that there is no air, warmth, or food, and death comes with merciful speed. Others believe that there is enough sustenance to enable Avernites to endure a miserable worm-like existence. Until, of course, the monsters get you. And a few believe that Avernum is a paradise, a hard land of freedom, where one can at last be out from under the Empire's iron rule. People mad enough to believe Avernum is paradise soon end up there themselves. They don't really know what it is like. Nobody on the surface does. But soon you will. There is no appeal to the judge's decision. Early one morning, in a stone dome far out in the wastes, you are dragged in chains to the shimmering portal. You breathe clean, fresh air one last time. Your shackles are removed. Then they throw you in. Welcome to Avernum. These caverns are a tutorial to help you get started. First, you need to learn how to move around. Click on a spot on the ground to walk there. Slowly, your eyes adjust to the dim light. Happily, there is light. The ceiling of the cavern is covered with scattered patches of fungus that glows with a faint green luminescence. But you are alone. It is cold, damp, and deathly still. All you hear are the echoes of dripping water in the shadows. The loneliness makes the feeling of claustrophobia more powerful. For a moment, you can sense the countless tons of stone above you, ready to, at any moment, crush you into nothingness. You concentrate and overcome the growing terror. There must be someone down here. You'll just have to explore and find them. Button. Much to your great relief, you finally find signs of human occupation. The gallery to the west is blocked by a wall. Rough stone blocks held together by crumbling mortar. It looks like it has been here for years, abandoned and decaying. But it is something. Less reassuring is the pile of bones between you and the wall. They look like they came from a small humanoid. Perhaps a goblin. They too have been here for a while. On the floor near them, someone discarded a crude cloak. Scraps of leather, roughly stitched together. On the surface, you would have ignored the disgusting thing. Down here, with the cold seeping into your bones, you decide that you would be better off wearing it. Putting on the cloak. The cloak is crude and dirty, but it is warm. You suspect that everything in the underworld is going to be crude and dirty, so you'd better start getting used to it. On this side of the door, at last, you can hear people. You smell fresh smoke and hear the muttering of speech. You're too far away to make out what they've been saying, but they are to the west. Keep moving west. If you want to switch back to faster movement style of the previous Avernum games, you can change this in the settings window. Oh, can I? Settings. Arrow keys. Scrolling speed. Slow down normal. Walk animated. Animated. There we go. Scroll speed is not as fast. Special encounter. There are 3 people ahead, crouched around a dim, smoky fire of burning fungus. They are rolling dice, gambling over a handful of copper coins and leather garments they scavenged in these caves. Then their sharp ears detect you. They leap to their feet and spin to face you. Drawing their blades, they are Nephilim, scrawny and hungry specimens, but dangerous nonetheless. Nephilim are a proud, tribal race that once filled the wild plains of the surface. Then the Empire began to remove them, sending the few that surrendered into Avernum and killing the rest. This has left them with a vicious hatred of humanity. Even though you share a common enemy, they are still determined to take their revenge upon you. Tessa used Smite. Arthur used Bolt of Fire and killed one of the Nephilim. Smite on the Nephilim. There you go, Tessa. And combat. The 3 Nephilim have fallen. 3 senseless deaths. You suspect that they were just sent down here through the same portal you came through. Usually, the Empire sends down the Nephilim through a different portal to a different part of these caves. But, of course, the Empire soldiers don't really care what undesirable goes where. Of course, it's also possible that the underworld is controlled by Nephilim, and you will soon be swarmed and enslaved, or worse. Let's see what these people had. So, that. The rogue, Cassandra. Coins. Crude short sword. Gets dual-wielded swords. Switch things up. I'll give the other caster the other bow. Okay, so I found a chest, part of the cavern, and I found leather pants and bracers and put them on the main berserker fighter character, who's going to be the tank. The tank. Tanky tank. Tanks. And I found an entrance to a wide chasm in the cave. But there's no way across, so I'm going to move on to the next area. What is next? Giant rats around an old decrepit campfire. So Berserker's gonna go attack that one. Oh, nice. Backstab. Come on. Bolt of fire on the huge rat. Arthur hits with Bolt of Fire. Bolton hits the huge rat and kills it in one hit. Cassandra ends combat. Bolton, get them crystals. Cassandra, get them leather gloves. And that belt. Stack up. Okay, so there are enemies further up in this corridor. Bolton goes, Cassandra goes, and with one movement point left, you're gonna smite one of the rats. Same with you, Mr. Arthur. Okay, Arthur and Tessa have used their magic to take out one of the giant rats. And the rats' attacks fall on death. Well, they fall on nothing. They don't actually do any damage. They don't actually hit my characters. So it's Bolton's turn. Bolton, the hulking barbarian, swings his sword and hits. Cassandra, the rogue who is currently wielding dual-wielded daggers. Because I gave the dagger from Bolton that Bolton started with to Cassandra. So she attacks the huge rat. 2 points of damage. That's not really 2 points. 2 attacks. It's multi-attack because it's um, dual-wielded weapons. So Tessa needs to conserve her magic energy, so I gave her the bows that I found earlier, so she's going to shoot one of the huge rats. And it's dead. Arthur, the wizard, has his bow out that I gave him, and shoots the other huge rat is down. Oh no, I'm getting flanked. Alrighty, critical hit. They get their weapons out. So, yeah. Bolton swings at the huge rat, misses. Cassandra, with dual-wielded daggers, destroys the giant rat is down. So that is the last of the enemies. End combat. Alrighty. Sifting through the old campfire, Bolton finds another crude bow, a poor leather helmet, which he now is wearing, and a bronze short sword, which does more damage than what I was wielding. So I'll give the old crude short sword to Cassandra. She has a backup weapon. And I'm going to give that other bow I just found to Cassandra. So now she has she has the ability to do ranged damage. Inventory. Oh, picked up some flawed crystals off the ground. Alrighty. So now let's see if he's missing anything else. Nope, that seems to be everything is in order. I seem to have explored everything in this area. The cave to the north is divided by a deep pool of foul, stagnant water. There is a man standing on the other side of it, watching you, his sword drawn. Perhaps he can tell you how to get to safety, if there is anywhere safe down here. Let me walk closer. On the other side of the morass, a human is staring at you. He has a dented bronze broadsword and a heavy leather jerkin. Your relief at seeing another human is not enough to keep you from noticing the coldness of his gaze, or how he seems to be sizing you up. He gives you a half bow and smirks. I, Legren, welcome you to the underworld, and from the look of you, you are a warrior, not the weaklings and malcontents we've had coming through so far. I should change the voice, sorry. Let me give Legren a different voice, or try to. Greetings, I mean you no harm. He gives you a mocking little salute with his blade. Oh, of course, none of you other arrivals want to hurt me. But how, I wonder, do I feel about you? You're trapped in this basement with me, after all. What do you mean? He points at something hanging around his neck. It's a key. These caves are where all the new human arrivals are supposed to end up. Then the Avernites, noble beings that they are, find you and bring you out and help you. But then I stole this key. I came down here and locked the gates behind me. Now you are all stuck down here with me and my helpers. Why are you doing this? Because we are free, don't you understand? The Empire holds us down no longer. Now at last the strong can survive and flourish and make our own new land. Do you think you are tougher than me? Because if not, you will serve us. And what do you think you will get from me? Just intelligence. Now I know how many of you there are and how you are armed. Now my servants will be prepared. He gives you one more little bow and lets out a harsh laugh and turns to leave. He has nothing else to say to you. He disappears quickly into the shadows. I found some javelins, and I gave them to Bolton the Barbarian, so he can throw javelins into combat. The Avernites built something down here, a crude stone structure that was then left to crumble. 4 people, fresh from the surface, are hiding in the ruins. They look like ordinary people, farmers and merchants who angered some empire lord or said the wrong thing when the wrong person was listening. Now they are trapped in the underworld for the rest of their lives, empty-handed and terrified. Only one of them seems to have kept her self-control. She is a young, stocky woman. She holds a crude spear in her trembling hands. "Who is there?" "I." When she gets a look at you, she lowers the spear slightly. "You are not the one of the thugs, are you? I am Brissa. Are you trapped down here like us?" "Do you need my help?" I would not beg a stranger for aid, except that our situation is desperate. There is a Cretan down here. His name is Legren. He has a pack of brigands and thugs to help him. We can't escape this basement while he blocks the exit. I can't fight him off. I need your help. Can you give it?" "I will free you from these caves." She nods and looks up at the others. For the first time, they look up at you, emerging a tiny bit from the catatonia. "I thank you. I knew from the moment I saw you that you were a warrior with honor. I will wait here. We will wait here." She returns to standing guard and watching over the others. The people in the ruined building left 2 flasks of liquid on the table. Perhaps a gift for you, perhaps a bribe to mollify the thugs ahead. These potions might help you if you have to fight your way out. Yay! It's a couple healing potions. Bolton has one, and Cassandra gets the other. Nothing else on the ground. Sifting through the rocks on the ground. Can't find anything. After your meeting with Legren, you aren't surprised to find these people waiting for you. 3 humans who've teamed up with 2 Nephilim. They smirk and raise their blades as you step into the dim light of their fire. As the reek of burning fungus assaults your nose, one of them says, "Well, you knew this was coming. Legren let you know what was happening. I hope you're ready. At least you won't be in this pit much longer." Attack them. The thugs honestly thought they would hear you talk and plead. They weren't expecting someone who would actually fight back. Your charge catches them by surprise. Okay. Arthur, bolt of fire on Roland, the thug. I should do better to narrate the combat. Bolton, the barbarian, swings at Roland, the thug, and kills him. Cassandra, the rogue, with her double daggers, attacks one of the thugs and does a decent amount of damage. Tessa, the priestess, takes her bow out and shoots at that same thug Cassandra shot at, and does almost killing it amounts of damage, but the thug is still barely alive. Arthur, the sorcerer, prepares to cast bolt of fire on one of the Nephil archers and does a decent amount of damage. Their blows from their crude bows and arrows are attacking the barbarian and doing very little to no damage, but they're still nicking him and scratching him here and there, and he's still fine, though, in spite of it. One of the thugs is down. The other thug is down. 3 thugs out of 5 are dead. Bolton the barbarian runs up to the Nephil archer and cuts him to little bits. Cassandra the rogue goes after the other Nephil archer. Misses. Tessa the priestess uses heal on Bolton to heal all the damage in one go. Arthur, the sorcerer, uses bolt of fire on the Nephil archer. Does a decent amount of damage. Bolton, the barbarian, runs after the Nephil archer as the Nephil tries to flee. Cassandra, the rogue, hits him, stabs him right in the back with the damage. Or with the 2 daggers, I should say. End combat. So let's see what is around their campsite. What did they have? Well, there's some sticks lying around. They have a crude dagger, and there's some boots. I'll give Cassandra, the rogue, the boots. Nice, some boots. You move cautiously down the corridor. You are past Legren's thugs, but their leader is still ahead. And without his key, you doubt you will be able to escape this pit. This is a good time to save the game. Get Tessa out and get the, okay, right up. You round the corner and come face to face with Legren, a petty thug with delusions of grandeur. When he gets a good look at you, he realizes that perhaps his plan to build a new empire within Avernum is not going to work out. And yet, he doesn't give in. He stands between you and the locked gate leading to the exit and snarls at you. You notice dark stains around his mouth. Perhaps he has eaten something recently that is tinkering with his brain. He points his blade at you. You got past my warriors, and what? They are dead? Well, I will get more. The Empire sands down more killers every day. Avernum won't take them, but I will! You notice that he is holding something in his offhand, but you can't tell what it is. I've just had enough of your ranting. Yes, fight us! We will destroy you! He charges you. His warriors, seeing no other option, regretfully follow him. Bolton the Barbarian runs up and stabs Legren pretty good with his sword. Cassandra the Rogue does follow suit and does a decent amount of damage with her double daggers. Tessa the Priestess gets the bow and shoots at Legren, doing a moderate amount of damage. Arthur, the sorcerer, comes closer to this band of ragtag bad guys and militia and casts Daze. Now, many of these people are dazed and confused and are really just, they can't even think about what's going on. One of them resisted the Daze spell and shot at Bolton, but... Oh, they shot at Arthur the sorcerer who cast the Daze spell, but it missed. Bolton got poked by Legren. It wasn't really that much damage. Excuse me, burped a little bit. Bolton takes his new bronze broadsword and slashes at Legren, doing a decent amount of damage. Cassandra the Rogue follows suit, does a pretty hefty point of damage herself. Tessa, the archer, shoots at the thug that hasn't been damaged by, or hasn't been dazed by the Daze spell. Does a pretty decent amount of damage. Arthur, the sorcerer, uses bolt of fire on the thug that resisted the spell, and he's almost dead. That thug is being seriously maimed by the damage dealt. Legren just got slashed by Bolton. Cassandra's following suit but misses. Tessa the archer uses healing on Bolton, who's been hit pretty badly a few times. And Arthur the sorcerer casts bolt of fire on the thug, and he gets killed. And now Bolton the barbarian doesn't cast anything because he's a barbarian, but he breaks the bronze sword out and smacks Legren again, doing a decent amount of damage. Cassandra attacks Legren but misses. Tessa, the priestess, shoots at one of the other Nephil archer that was in the group of people that are supporting Lagrin. It does a pretty decent amount of damage. Arthur uses Bolt of Fire on the Nephil Archer and kills it. Lagrin is wounded. He is bleeding and exhausted. No, you will not stop me. I have one thing. I smuggled. He raises his left hand and you see that he is holding a glass globe. Goodbye, fool. Enjoy your new life of servitude. He smashes a globe against the floor. A cloud of lavender smoke spreads out, choking you, confusing you. Lagrin turns and runs towards the gate, the key in his hand. Lagrin has a free path to the exit gate. He puts his key in the keyhole, turns, and shoves the iron bars. The moment they are open a few inches, he slides through and runs upstairs. You immediately hear a commotion coming from above. Okay, so Bolton has been relieved from the cloud of lavender mist, and he's broken through the fear that was magically induced by it, and Bolton has resisted it, and he's turned to the cave wolf that was in the party of bad guys that were following Lagrin, and smacks it and kills it one hit. Cassandra breaks free of the thing. She breaks free of the fear that was magically induced and attacks the thug. One of the thugs. It's the last thug remaining. Tessa, the priestess, uses her bow and shoots the thug. Does a decent amount of damage. And then Arthur, the sorcerer, Bolt of Fire on the thug. And he's almost dead. Bolton moves in for the killing blow. And that's that. That's all that's left of Lagrin's followers. They're all dead. Let's see. Inventory. A bag of meal. And a couple crude daggers. So let's see now. What can be found through here? That was the area that I'm overlooking the area I originally teleported into. In these arrival caverns. Inventory, amphoras. Okay, there's some giant rats. Bolton runs up and kills one of them in a single blow. Cassandra, the rogue, runs up and attacks the other one, but misses. Tessa, the priestess, runs up and shoots that same rat and almost kills it with an arrow, but Arthur the sorcerer follows up in the rear and Bolt of Fire kills it. Bolton the barbarian runs up to the huge rat, kills the other rat. Cassandra the rogue misses when she swings at the other, but Tessa the priestess manages to shoot, and Arthur the mage, the sorcerer, shoots the same rat and nearly kills it. Bolton deals the killing blow again. End combat. Okay. I'm gonna give... So I picked up a few more random crystals off of the ground, and I gave the random crystals to the people, to Bolton, and I picked up a few chunks of meat that came off the rats, and the meat that came off of the rats wound up being given to Bolton and Cassandra, the barbarian and rogue, and I found some mushrooms that could be picked. That can be sold too. But then I found some mushrooms and some healing herbs, and then I just found a scroll of radiate ice, and I also found a couple ingots of iron. And I went to the exit of the cave, and now I'm in Fort Avernum. You escaped from the dark tunnels. and your claustrophobia is immediately replaced with vertigo. You are in a fort within a giant cavern. The stone ceiling arcs hundreds of feet over your head. As your eyesight adjusts, you look around at the world of Avernum for the first time. You are inside what looks like some sort of fort. It is made of huge blocks of stone, roughly mortared together. Wood must be rare down here. Only the doors are made of it. There are a few odd trees nearby, more fungus than wood. Then, when your awe at the strange sight fades, you notice the warriors. They stand around the lip of the pit you're in, weapons drawn. Some of them have bows pointed at you, ready to fire. As you prepare to defend yourself, a man comes running towards the lip of the pit from the south. Stop, stop, he shouts. Don't fire, let me talk. Okay. Don't attack, don't attack. A small man runs toward you, waving his arms. His skin is incredibly pale in the strange light from the fungal ceiling. When he reaches you, he stops and bends over, his hands on his knees, breathing heavily. When he regains his breath, he says, Don't attack, I'm Andrew, the greeter. We are Avernites. We are here to welcome and help you. A thug named Legrin just came out this way. Did you catch him? Andrew looks embarrassed. We tried. When he ran out, his face was covered. By the time we were sure he was the killer and not an innocent arrival, he had already fled. I'm sure he will be found. What happens to me? Well, your new life begins. Now that you have emerged, I have something to say to you. Yes? As Andrew speaks, the guards nearby watch solemnly. Each of them went through the same ceremony, the beginning of a new life. Andrew says, On behalf of Avernum, I welcome you to your new home here in the darkness. Our lot is hard, but we are free of the crushing hand of the Empire. We offer you peace and aid as long as you aid us in return. He smiles weakly. That is all. We have some aid for you. Then you can go out and start your new life. How can you help me? We can provide two things for you here, supplies and information. Once you know where you can go and have a few coins to get yourself established, we can send you on your way. Information is always useful. Thyrol is the town sage. He lives and works in the buildings just a bit to the southwest. He's a bit glum, but he does his job well. He will answer your questions as best he can. Of course, you should get supplies first. Can I get supplies? To prevent certain problems, new arrivals are sent to Tor to get modest supplies to support themselves until they find work. He's in the building to the south. We found doing otherwise results in desperate, dangerous, and violent new citizens. This way, you'll have a fair chance. What you do with it when you leave here is your business. Can't I just stay here? That is a common question. I am afraid not. This fort is small, and we already have all of the defenders we need. The rest of Avernum needs you. That's all for now, thanks. I'm gonna go back down into the caves. I almost forgot something. I need to go rescue that lady that was being held captive by Legrin. I'm running all the way around through the caverns, all the way back to Brissa. Brissa watches you closely. Her spear is always in her hands. What else do you need of us? I hope you have not joined those thugs. Legrin is gone. You can escape now. She is so relieved that, for a moment, you think she might break into tears. But then she starts nudging the others with her shoe. Come on, let's escape while we can. As they rise, she turns to you. I thank you. This has been a rough arrival, but things perhaps will improve. She thinks, but I doubt it. Then she turns and begins to escort the others towards the exit. Conversation ends. Alrighty. Bolton, the barbarian. What's the character level for this? So let's see now. I'll give him a level of endurance. And then the skills, he will get melee weapon skill, magic miscellaneous. How about cave lore? perk should I give him? Backstab is pretty cool. Good health, though. Since he's going to be a tank, I'll give him extra health. How about extra improved endurance? What was that? Good health. One of the two things that improve health would be the best for Bolton here. Close. Bolton is now got 53 max health, 4 endurance points. Okay, that's pretty good. Cassandra, the rogue. Well, what is she gonna get? Well, she can get dexterity. And I'll give her tool use. And what's a good one for this rogue to get? Let's see now. Will this rogue be dual wielding? There we go. Nah, wait. What should be done? Gymnastics. Can I get gymnastics? Oh, gymnastics. Nice. Makes you far lighter on your feet. Each level of this skill gives you plus 2% chance of evading enemy attacks and 10% chance of starting combat rounds with a bonus action point. How about I... Nah, that's pretty cool, but... The rogue. How about since... I'll make this rogue a dual-wielding character. Training in the tricky art of swinging 2 weapons at once. Reduces by 2% per level the damage penalty when you have a weapon in each hand. Oh, wait. Oh, I can't increase that. That's dumb. It's all the way at the top. Oh, well. You know what? She won't be dual wielding. If I have to do all that. Let's see now. What should I do? Gymnastics is pretty cool. Bonus action point. Man, I know I'm going to do tool use with this lady. For the rogue. And melee weapons, because she's doing melee attacks. I'll just switch. Okay. I'll do endurance. Give the rogue more health, because she's going to do melee damage, so that'll help. Melee weapon, skill, and tool use. What is the trait that I'm going to do? Nimble fingers. Increase tool use by 1. That's good. So then now I technically have 4 tool use at level 2 with the rogue, which is pretty good. I'm going to focus on being good at combat, at melee combat with Cassandra. Let me go in the inventory. These 2 crude daggers aren't that great. I'll take them out with her hands and give her a crude short sword. This rogue, I thought I saw, if I remember right, there was a wooden shield on the ground. There is a wooden shield. Wooden shield. I'll give Cassandra a sword and shield fighter now. Bolton has the bronze short sword, which does 16 to 64 damage in his hands. Cassandra has a crude short sword that does 12 to 48 damage and a shield. The problem I noticed with Cassandra was that every 3rd or 4th attack missed because there's a damage penalty to dual wielding. And that's not something I want. If she's going to be a melee fighter, she needs to actually hit the enemies she's swinging her weapons at. Or else why even bother? Now, everyone leveled up, so next is Priest Tessa. Okay, do Intelligence as the skill. Magic Miscellaneous. You're going to be... Priest Spells. And First Aid. So what's the next one? Elemental focus, healing focus, nimble fingers, energy blessing. It's pretty nice. I increased her intelligence and I'm gonna do energy blessing to get more spell points because she went through a lot of um, mana just doing the thing that she did. So Arthur is going to go for the skills. How about priest spells and mage spells? Energy blessing. Energy blessing. There we go. Alrighty. I just wanted to see. So, Arthur, now that I've added a level of priest spells, he now can cast Minor Heal, Curing, and Smite, which is not bad. So, that's pretty nice. Yeah, he needs that. So haste is okay. Haste, blink. So all these different spells that are I haven't had the ability to learn yet because I'm too low of a level. Let me kind of run around in circles a little bit and let the people ahead of me run around, get out. Terrified arrival. I get experience points just from helping people get the hell out of these caves. There we go. That's kind of why I did it. So there we go. I had to come back and there we are. There we are. There we are. There's an Avernite wandering around the streets of the fort, looking for new arrivals. He wears a jerkin of thick lizard hide. A bow of black wood hangs from his shoulders. The moment he sees you, he almost rushes to greet you. Welcome to Avernum, he says. I am Varen. You look newly arrived, and if you don't mind me saying, a bit aimless, I have an opportunity for you. What is this opportunity? The opportunity to fight for Avernum so that we can all survive. And in return, you can gain what little renown and comfort is available in this dark place. Tell me more. He nods. A wise choice. You should go to Silva, west of here, and meet the mayor. I have been sent to recruit people like you. I think you will find the work to your liking. That is all. I will leave you to regain your bearings. He nods and walks off looking for other potential recruits. Conversation ends. Tor's supplies. Walk down towards Tor's supplies. Open the door. Walk in. Open the door. Get on the floor. Everyone walk the dinosaur. Tor. There is a tall man sitting behind the counter, wearing bronze armor. Behind him is a large rack of crude stone and bronze weapons. He recognized you as a new arrival in an instant. Don't recognize you, and I recognize everyone. You must be new. He rises and shakes his head. You can see how desperately pale years down here have made him. I am Tor. I'm here to give you some supplies before you go on your way. Can I have some supplies? Tor nods, makes some notes on a scroll made of crude parchment, and hands you a pouch, some dried meat, and a loaf of unappealing, slightly gray bread. This is the starting allowance of all new arrivals are given. To help them get established, we want you to become productive citizens of Avernum as soon as possible. Good luck to you. Where do you get the supplies you give out? Some are sent here by the army, others are sent by the Empire. Sometimes they give us weapons and food and other things. We find them in the arrival caves with the new exiles. What do you do here? Well, sometimes I maintain the weapons of the guards. Sometimes I guard travelers going to Silvar. But I spend most of my time giving supplies to newcomers. What is Silvar? Silvar is the closest town to the west. A very good place to find work if you need it. You should ask Thyrol about it. His office is the next building to the south. Do the weapons need lots of maintenance? He looks back at them with disdain. Pretty crude work, huh? Good metal is rare down here. Tools to work it, rarer still. And enchanted items, good luck finding them. Magical items, they can be found. Sometimes. Some are made at the Tower of Magi. Also, when Avernum was first discovered, the Empire sent many explorers down here. A lot of them were killed, but their equipment remains. Such items are rare and valuable and precious, though. I wouldn't go hunting them. Better to live a peaceful life in one of the forts, I think. That's all for now, thanks. The office of Thyrol down the road a little ways. Open the door and walk in. Thyrol. You see a slender, worried-looking man wearing the robes of a mage. Somehow, despite the crude surroundings, he is impeccably dressed. He sits behind a desk laden with books and scrolls. When you enter, he lets out a world-weary sigh. Ah, another arrival, another unfortunate. I am Thyrol, and I can give you information you can use to settle into life here. Alas, the news is all bad. You give information? Yes, for example, on our lovely neighbors, the Nephilim and the Slithzerakai, or on your chances for escape, or on you can get supplies, or on the local politics. The Nephilim you've heard of, but there are many of them on the surface. However, until you have arrived here in Avernum, you've never heard of the Slithzerakai. Who are the Slithzerakai? Lizard men. Only live below ground. Intelligent, powerful fighters. Very magically talented. We've been at war with them for years, and lately things have been at a stalemate. They live to the west. What good are our chances of escaping from Avernum? No chance. None whatsoever. We all stay down here until monsters hunt us down like dogs. Who runs things down here? Each town has a mayor, with the mayors form a council. The council co-rules with King Micah, lord of our homey little pit. Micah lives in the Great Cave. To get there, go a ways south and a ways west. By the way, the council meets in the castle. It's a place you should know about. What is the castle? It's our pride and joy. We built a real castle of rocks, crude magic, and spit. King Micah lives there, orchestrating our desperate defenses. You should see it. It's reasonably impressive. It's in the Great Cave to the southwest. That's all for now, thanks. Alrighty. Let me walk around and explore town a little bit more. What's around here? Fort Avernum. That looks like it. Look, cows. Cave cows. Passing by a little pasture. This building. What's in this building? Oh, look. Somebody managed to pick the lock. What's in here? What's special encounter? There is a spellbook chained to this pedestal. The name of the owner is carefully inscribed on the spine. Thyrol's Knowledge Compendium. It's impolite to look at a mage's spellbook, but if you took a peek inside this one, it probably wouldn't hurt, unless of course it was trapped. Read the book and hope it's not trapped. Most of the contents are very basic. No help to you. There is, however, a description of a powerful, ancient, holy rite. It's rather out of place in this book. It's very interesting reading, though. You can improve your knowledge of the spell Call Storm here. You concentrate and try to memorize it. Your group's total arcane lore skill needs to be at least 7 to learn this spell. Unfortunately, you weren't able to understand it. Well, crap. Can I steal any of his stuff? I could, but it's... what? It's £5 for 60 bucks. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and steal some of these robes. Screw Thyle. I am broke and I need resources. What's in here? Silver coins. Leather pants. Why these people gotta have leather pants? Nothing but... I'll give the rogue the leather pants so she can wear it. Oh, a candle. It's not considered stealing to take that. For whatever reason, there's that fog crystal. Okay. Autosave. There's that same Varen guy. What's in here? Janice. You meet a middle-aged woman who seems to be in a big hurry. Like everyone else you've met, she is extremely pale. She is holding a crude clipboard. She nods to you. Greeting, I'm Janice. Don't come to me for supplies. I just count them. I don't give them out. What are you doing? I'm in charge of supplies for the fort. The soldiers, they do their own cooking. but I'm the one they come to for the food, and weapons, and clothes. It's tedious work, but it keeps me busy as long as Thyrol is stationed out here. Who is Thyrol? She sighs mightily. She sighs mightily. My husband, the sage, he helps the new arrivals get acclimated. Being here depresses him terribly, being at the border and all. He's worried? Yes, about the Nephilim. He's convinced they'll storm the fort any day now. Who knows, he may be right. What are the Nephilim? Ah, the doom of us all if the Sliths don't get us first. Lots of them have been sent down here along with the humans. Many migrate to lower caverns, but many more stay here, determined to take our land. A large tribe of them lives to the north. They don't usually arrive at Fort Avernum, by the way. They tend to appear at the north. That's all for now. Alright, that's cool. Acacia. You meet a powerfully built woman. She wears chainmail with a sun insignia painted on her chest. It is faded and chipped, but still visible. Her reddish cheeks contrast strongly with the paleness of the rest of her skin. She sizes you up and nods slightly. Heard you've been fighting from the moment you got here. You didn't just curl up and die. I approve. She shakes your hand. I'm Acacia. Are you a soldier here? Yes, I'm the guard captain for the barracks here at Fort Avernum. We've got a bunch of good men here, and when the Nephilim come for us, we'll give them a good run. We work best on defense. Why are the Nephilim attacking you? They were thrown down here by the Empire just like us, and they've always hated humans. We haven't attacked anybody, we just want some caves to call our own. Not good enough for our foes. They won't rest until every human is on their dinner plates. Tell me about this fort. It's one of the most important places in the whole underworld. For us, I mean. If the Nephilim take Fort Avernum, arriving humans fall into their hands. And then, she draws her thumb across her neck and makes a charming noise. That's all for now, thanks. So what's in here? Warwick. You meet a young woman with long black hair. She is sitting at a table eating a bowl of thin lizard soup. Her skin has not yet attained the paleness of one who's spent a lot of time in Avernum. When you get close, her head jerks up. Once she has seen who you are, she returns to her soup, disappointed. Have a seat, fellow exile. I'm Warwick. We might as well regain our strength before we go out into the wilds. You seem like a recent arrival. Why are you sent down here? She looks down at the table. I've already learned that that is a rude question to ask. People are sent to Avernum because their secrets are revealed. Once here, they want them to become secrets again. She turns away. Fort Avernum Barracks. Barracks is just soldiers and guards. So what's in that? Okay, over here off to the side. It's just a little mini storeroom. Mushrooms and a knife. Mushrooms, and it's not considered stealing to take them. It's stealing to go to that, though. Gold coins. Is anyone within my field of vision? No. I'm going to go ahead and steal them. And I'll steal the energy potion. Get ahead by stealing. This is the Morrowind tactic to succeed in a video game. Sorcerer gets the energy potion. Mwahaha! Stealing. There's no stealth option. Fort Avernum Barracks. Visitor's Chamber. Feel free to rest here. Oh, look at that. Big pool. There's someone there. Diane. You see a quiet, frail woman. She is picking mushrooms. They are big, bloated, brown things, different from any such fungus you ever saw on the surface. When she notices that you are watching her, she blushes and stares into her basket. Greetings, she says in a quiet voice. I am Diane. Those are big mushrooms. Aren't they lovely things? Though the taste is bitter, they are most of what we eat down here and drink, and what we feed our livestock. They don't grow on the surface. No, wizards of the Tower of Magi created them. using ordinary mushrooms and powerful magic. We depend on them. Without them, we could not live down here. That's all for now, thanks. Yeah, mushrooms. She's picking shrooms. Let's see, run around town. What's on the other side of town? Surface goods storage. Unauthorized Avernites keep out. Open the door. Alrighty. Surface goods. Bag of sugar. Oh, nice. I'm totally stealing this shit. Fuck all these people. What's in there? Stolen without anyone seeing me. Stolen some crystals without anyone seeing me. Nothing in the piles of crap on the ground. Nothing on the piles of crap on the ground. Broken pots. Time to get out. I'm robbing these people. This is what you learn from Morrowind. You step out of Fort Avernum and get your first good look at your new home. You are at the east end of an enormous cavern, many miles across. In the dim green light, you look out through the mist and see a huge forest of the strange fungal trees. A dark river flows by to the south and to the west, and you can dimly make out lights of a town. Although you're far underground, it's not as quiet and peaceful as you thought it would be. Sounds echo well within this cavern. You can dimly make out the hisses of lizards, flowing water, and unnervingly the growls of distant humanoids. Your journey into Avernum is about to begin. Oh, combat with a giant rat that's running around outside of town. There we go. Oh, that was actually a really smart idea to give this lady. There's some trash outside. I'm wandering around outside of Avernum. Outside of the fort. Just outside of the walls. And there's a few giant rats I just took out. But yeah, the Cassandra's damaged it. She hit and did a lot of damage. So that change from dual wielding to sword and shield was a much smarter idea. I could practically run a shield wall kind of thing. Oh, there's a dead body right outside the fort. An iron shield on the dead body. Hot shit. Pardon my French. But priest gets that. Bolton, you don't need that. You get that iron shield. 18% armor. Wooden shield is plus 12% armor. I'll just drop the wooden shield. That iron shield is nice. I'll keep an iron shield on hand. Let me keep walking around. See, this is why you go out of your way to randomly explore places when you're playing a role-playing game. I didn't do that the last playthrough that I kind of glitched. I didn't really glitch. I just kind of, like, it wasn't that smart. I did it poorly. I role-played poorly when I was playing it. It was dumb. Let me try it differently. There is a patrol of Avernite militiamen watching the road between Fort Avernum and Silvar. Their weapons and armor are crude and dented, clearly passed down from warrior to warrior for decades. They warn you to watch out for goblins and bandits, then continue their patrol. Let's see now. Let me see. What is my character's arcane lore? 1 arcane lore. For the priest, she has 1. So I have 2 arcane lore. I need 7 arcane lore to be able to... What is that? Oh, it's just giant wolves. Cave wolves. Come on. Doing damage. Shoot that other cave wolf. Arthur, light it on fire. There we go. Dead. 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 Most of this party of bad guys dead. Pick up, close combat. Restoring 2 health. Katra, 5 miles west. There's Silvar, Katra. Just gonna wander around town. Oh, look! Goblins! Attacking goblins. They'll bunch up as a party. Oh, it missed. How do you miss with a bolt of fire? Missed the other goblin. Bolt of fire. Crude dagger stabbed the goblin. Nothing dropped. And combat. Switched weapons. Let's see now. What is the... Okay, so that... So far, I've just been getting a decent amount of experience points. Can't cast spells while wandering around. There's Katra. You meet a group of guards from the city of Katra. They're out on patrol. After mutual greetings, they give you a warning. Be careful if you're planning to travel farther west. There's a lot of sliths in the area, and they're very dangerous. You thank them for the warning and continue on your way. As they leave, you notice a lot of them look like they've seen a lot of combat lately. Worn armor, dented weapons, recently applied bandages. Oh, okay. That's not... You're at the base of a huge spire of rock with a large spring at the top. Clear, glittering water, gleaming eerily in the light of the glowing fungus above, showers down in a crystalline cascade. From here, it flows south to the enormous underground sea. Oh, that's pretty cool. Discovered Katra. Let's see now. World map. Avernum, map of Avernum is W. So I'm at Katra, and Fort Dranlun is over there. Fort Draco is up north. Fort Mello is up to the northeast. I've visited outside of Katra, Silvar, Fort Avernum, just exploring the Eastern Gallery, really. Yeah, just kind of exploring the land. What was that? Oh, it looks like some kind of... Oh, you've encountered a stray lost group of cave cows. They have wandered away from a nearby farm. You try to round them up in the hopes of gaining a reward, but they're surprisingly nimble and stubborn. Eventually they escape. Oh. Poor cows. Oh, look, it's another... I think that's Fort Dovno that I was just at. Well, on the other save, I should say. There's Fort Avernum. 2 forts right next to each other. We'll go ahead and find that. There's a group of brigands that I killed for a hefty reward. A group of Avernum troops operating out of Fort Dovno approaches you. When they see that you aren't bandits, they warn you to be careful. There are bandits and crazed Nephilim in this area, the captain says, then they depart. Look at that. Thugs. There we go. Attack the thugs. Thug life this. Shoot. Mage spell. Hit that thug. Let's see how well. Cassandra the rogue backstabs the other guy. Smite. Bolt of fire. And the other thug's dead. Okay, open that up. Smite. Bolt of fire on the other thug. Finally, the last thug is down. Crude daggers. What the heck, I'll just take them to sell them. Dun, 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 dun. Use healing on that guy and combat. So what's my experience look like? So now I've gained another 100 experience just running around slaying enemies. You find the ruins of what was once a sort of Harmer homestead. It is now a burned out shell, clearly the victim of some sort of attack. What is that? Is that a slith? You encounter a lone creature, lost and desperate. It's a reptilian humanoid, the size of an adult human wielding a large two-tined spear. This must be one of the infamous and dangerous Slith Zerakai. When it sees you, it doesn't bother to speak. Instead, it emits a vicious hiss and charges you. Oh crap. Bolton got hit nasty with this by this thing. Let's see. Summon. A Nephil has been summoned. And the summoned Nephil does damage. Bolt of fire. 22 damage resisted by the Slith. These Slith are not a joke. Minor heal on Bolton. Bolton took a lot of damage. I'll use Bingo. Wow, this thing is dangerous. Holy crap. There we go. Healing Bolton again, because that is not... That Slith took a lot out of it. A lot harder than it is on the other one. You see a homestead ahead by a small lake. Smoke is rising from it. From here, you can't tell if the smoke is coming from a bonfire or a house fire. Approach and investigate. You approach the farm and find a ruin. What's more, if it's been a ruin for some time. The smoke came from an unattended bonfire, left there to lure you in. As you turn to leave, you see the approaching bandits. Bandits! Let's see now. Use pre-spell protection. Protection, and you use daze on that section of thugs there. Crowd control. Smite on that goblin. You use firebolt on the goblin. Dead goblin. And there's one thug that's left out. There we go. That daze spell is really powerful. It takes away a huge chunk of magic to use it. And end combat. You enter and search the house, afraid of what you might find. Fortunately, there are no signs of violence inside. The owners of the house must have fled before the bandits arrived. Find the remains of a campfire. A group of people, probably human, camped here recently. Looking at the east, you can see that the cave wall is heavily cracked. Perhaps someone could, with care, slip through one of those cracks. It might merit closer investigation. Yeah, that's... Walk up to the crack, and... Alright. There are a lot of supplies stored here, heaped around a cold and abandoned campsite. There's some water and goods for barter, and some nice javelins as well. You could easily search through the sacks and take everything useful. Take it. Alrighty, some iron javelins. Okay, that's nice. So I'm gonna run back to town. We're at Fort Duvno. Now, farm. What's in here? It's the barracks. What's in here? Jason's farming supplies. Jason, a tall, peculiar-looking man dressed in leather, sits by the counter. He has long hair and a broad smile, and cold, calculating eyes. "Hello," he says in a soft voice. "I am Jason. I sell supplies." "You sell supplies? Isn't that a bit vague?" "Well, I used to sell farming supplies when there were farms. Then I diversified." "Diversified into what?" "Into supplies of a more esoteric nature." "When there were farms? What do you mean by that?" "There are a lot of brigands in these parts. Not good, respectable thieves. Savages. They've been attacking the farms. There's one band of them, in particular, I'd like to see dealt with. Perhaps I could help you deal with them." "Perhaps you could, at that. Go straight north towards Formello, and you may meet a group of bandits which have been extorting money from merchants passing by. Deal with them, and I will pay you handsomely." "That's all for now, thanks." J.R. A small, slender woman sits behind the counter, working on fletching an arrow. Years in the underworld have made her skin white to the point of translucence. She holds up the arrow, inspects it, nods her approval, and sets it aside. Then she looks up at you. "Welcome to my workshop. You can call me J.R. I offer fine tools for puncturing one's foes from a safe distance. I want to buy some missiles." "Oh, okay. That's a lot of stuff. What kind of missiles do you make here?" "I make and sell archery supplies and javelins. Let me know if you want to purchase something. My stock is kind of low. Most everything I make has been going to the soldiers." "This seems like a very violent area." "It is. Sometimes I wish that my business was not so healthy." "Who have the soldiers been fighting?" "To the north, goblins and Nephilim. To the west, brigands and the rare Zerakai raiding party. The Empire has sent us all to a violent and dangerous land. I have another question. Do you know where one might learn about archery?" "I have been known to share my secrets, but only to ones of adequate prestige to be worth my time." Let's see, go back to... I can't sell anything here. Let me look for somewhere I could sell stuff. Walner. What can a sage... The man behind the counter is short and heavy-set. He wears mage's robes, not crisp and clean, but ratty as if he's been traveling recently. The air in here has a thick medicinal scent. There is some alchemical equipment sitting on the counter. The man sees that you notice it. "Difficult to find supplies down here, but I manage. I am Walner the Sage. Welcome to my shop." "What can a sage do?" "Well, my specialty is alchemy. If you have foraged any lichen or moss or fungi with the proper properties, you can show them to me. If they are fresh enough, I can make something for you. For example, if you brought me healing herbs in adequate quantities, I can make you healing or curing potions. Even better, with the right mix of herbs, I could make a brew to speed you up in combat or restore your magical energy. Very useful, much in demand." "I don't need any potions." "All right, safe travels with you." The conversation ends. Oh, okay. Scott. You see an old man sitting under a tree. He's fishing. "Are they biting?" "They are catching plenty of the pale, slimy little monsters." "What do you do when you aren't fishing?" "Well, not much. I used to be a farmer. Now I just do odd jobs and fish." "What sort of odd jobs?" "Foraging, cutting down the cave wood and shaping it into boards, burning trash and waste. Same amount of work to get done down here as up on the surface." "Why did you stop farming?" He speaks loudly for the first time in anger. "Those cat bastards, they burned my farm. They wanted the land, so they took it. Johnson sent out a group to attack their new fort, but they were never heard from, so I'm stuck here." He calms down and goes back to fishing. The conversation ends. Okay. That's not very nice that it happened to him. what's through here. Those are just buckets of water. Buckets of water. Oh, look. Grimmett. A man in front of you is huge, leather-clad and grimy. He holds a very large hammer. The heat from his forge leaves his face flushed, and the red stands out dramatically against his pale skin. He looks over your weaponry. A warrior, I see. I'm Grimmett. I sell blades. Best you can find in the Eastern Gallery. I'd like to sell something. Let me get rid of these old daggers, these crude daggers, iron javelins, crude javelins. I might as well hold on to. I'll just sell all these stuff I have kind of stolen from random people. Just stealing, looting everything I could come across. And sold. So now I have 711 coins. Jeez, that's not bad. You see a tall, attractive woman with short, dark hair. She studies you carefully as you approach, clinically searching your bodies for any sort of damage. Welcome, warrior. I am Carol of the Hammer Clan, a healer by trade. My skills are much in demand in this fort. What can you do for me? Alas, I have no potions to spare. However, if you pay for my time, I can share with you a few minor rituals for focusing a patient's natural energy to heal wounds. Teach. So, shopping for Tessa. Improve minor heal. Improve minor heal for Arthur the Wizard. Alrighty. Protection. I just spent like... now I have 413. So I'm not going to spend any other money on this. I just wanted to increase my skill. So... So what is my rogue has... Okay. Captain Johnson. You see a large bearded man in gleaming steel armor. An iron halberd is strapped over his back. Clearly, he must be the captain of this fort. He is a grim man with cold eyes and a huge variety of scars. Unfortunately, he doesn't look unhappy to see you. So you are here, he says. I got word promising warriors arrived in Fort Avernum. I won't pretend we don't need the help. I am Captain Johnson. I am in charge here until we get a new commander. How can I assist you, Captain? I could use some help protecting this fort from the bandits and Nephilim. It's my job not to rest until all the vermin are dead. Tell me more about the Nephilim problem. His face twists into a cold grin. It's a little disturbing. Vicious vermin! I love to strangle everyone! They're building a new fort to the north, and I sent a small group to check it out. All of my scouts were lost. We need to burn out that layer while it's small. He grins. Of course, we're getting them back. We got one of them in the cells, dying slow. Nephil prisoners? You have treated them fairly, I hope. He frowns. You must be newcomers. Only people who've just arrived would say something so foolish. When you've lost friends and loved ones to those savages, then you come back and tell me about fairness. I'd like to help you with your Nephilim problem. All right, then. The new Nephil fort is to the north. It's being dug out by goblins right now. If you can kill their commander and come back here and talk to me, and I will reward you well. I have another question. How can I assist you? What can you tell me about the bandits? I'm not too worried about them. They live in the fort to the northwest. They destroyed several farms, but we're wearing them down. I'd like a chance to help fight against some bandits. Can I help you? Definitely. The bandits have overrun a ruined fort to the west. They're led by a powerful mage. If that mage were gone, we'd have a much easier time dealing with them. Kill the magician, and you will be well rewarded. That's all for now, thanks. What's in here? Nephil prisoner. There is a lone Nephil held in this cell. His fur is matted and greasy. He is clearly starving. A long gash on his leg festers unattended. You find the body of a human brigand. He apparently died of starvation, although the heavy flogging he received couldn't have helped him to stay alive. Life in Avernum is hard, and thieves and criminals who end up in Fort Dovno receive no mercy from the captain. Apparently not. Jeez. Shekels and whip. Yeah, he doesn't fuck around. What's up here? Oh, it's upstairs in the fort. Oh, disarm trap. Oh, bolt inventory. Radiate ice. Steel. Leather greaves. Iron javelin. Get them. Leather pants can go to Tessa. Because I replaced them with leather greaves. Alrighty. Leather greaves. That's pretty cool. Let's see if there's anything else around here. Alrighty. I just stole from the Avernum army. Again. I need supplies. What can you say? I am a dick. Let's see now. I'm going to the inn. What's in the inn? Can't even pick the locks of the inn because my tools use is so low. Soldier, you don't want to talk to me. Okay, what about you, the lady next to him? Alice! This inn is clearly much frequented by merchants and warriors, the ones who pilot caravans north and south. The proprietor waits impatiently behind the counter. Stop gawking, she snaps. I'm Alice, and this is my inn. We have drinks and supplies. Sometimes we have rooms. That's all. Hear any gossip from travelers? Tips 5 coins. She takes her coins, inspects them, and nods, and pockets them. She says, I haven't heard a thing. Okay, I just wasted money. Don't need anything. Oh, she turns away. Yeah, that was a waste of coins. Jake. You meet a farmer named Jake. He spends his leisure time here at the inn, playing chess against all comers and making friendly wagers on the outcome. A few minutes of observation reveals that he is a fearsome opponent. Not wanting to lose any money, you quietly move on. You see a small, worried man in long robes. They show the wear and lichen stains that come from heavy travel. A holy symbol hangs prominently from his neck. He invites you to sit with him. I am Caius, a speaker of holy chants. Come and join me. I don't mind some company as I take a rest from my journey. May I ask where you were traveling? I bring the word to the flock. I once did so in Formello, but now I am moving to safer ground. Why did you leave Formello? I was assistant priest there, but the raids got too much for me. I work for Mother Claudette, a good, fine woman. Plus, she had the ear of the mayor. If you're ever there, mention my name to her. She'll help you get settled. As for me, I'm off. What can you tell us about Formello? It's a city to the north. They've had troubles, though not as bad as down here. The worst thing that's happened so far is that some Nephilim spies stole the mayor's necklace. He laughs. Sounds trivial, I know, but it's supposed to have powerful magic. Still, the attacks were starting to increase. I'm glad I left. Where are you going? I'm going to the Great Cave, where things are calmer. He looks worried for a moment. Or so I hear. The Great Cave, what's that? You really don't know much about Avernum, do you? It's far to the south, and then west. It's the largest cavern in Avernum. It contains a number of cities and forts, and the castle, the capital of Avernum. You should try to see it if you ever get the chance. That's all for now, thanks. Alright, I'm going to walk around the fort a little bit. Oh, look at that. There is something on the ground over here. What do you know? Healing herbs. In Avernum, in the original game, you could brew your own potions. You don't go to a sage to do it, like in this one. In the original game, it's different that way. And it's actually pretty interesting to be able to do that. Lizard. Random lizard. What's on the ground? Just some trash. Okay. Just some random lizard walking around. Alrighty. Alrighty. So I think I'm just going to go out to the overland map now that I basically explored all of Fort Dove now. Let's see. Bandits. There's all of this difficult stuff. I'm going to go to Katra. Oh, what's that? Oh, bats. Hit the bat. There we go. Bat's dead. Smite. Bat. Mage spell. Bolt of fire. Bat. Hit it. 2 dead bats out of 3. bow. And it's dead and gone, nothing on the ground, and combat. Yeah, that was really disappointing. You see in the middle of this grove of twisted trees a huge group of gremlins. These strange manic creatures are rare on the surface. They're very cheery, but sometimes very volatile and dangerous. Strangely, this group doesn't seem happy at all. In fact, they seem downright suicidal. They lie around on their backs, shaking their heads and occasionally sobbing. Approach and talk to them. You carefully step forward. Some of them approach and sniff you. They seem to be smelling for something. Soon they decide that you are completely uninteresting, and they rush forward and unceremoniously kick you out of their grove. When you look back, they see that they've returned to their apathetic, mournful state. You must not have anything that cheers them up. Okay, that's weird. Oh well. I'm gonna go to Katra. When I did the other live stream, there's Silvar here that I'm right outside of, and when I was in Silvar, I basically wound up clearing out the whole, like doing the quest for the town and everything. But I didn't go to Katra that time. I'm gonna walk around Katra. Let me circumambulate Katra. What is this? 2 people were brought to this open space in the walls of the city and murdered. Their bodies have been here for weeks. Very odd. Maybe someone in town would be interested. Okay, that's weird. Murder. Gold ring, iron dagger. Robe. Gold ring, iron dagger. That's a nice thing. Leather pants. Yeah, that's kind of important if some random people get murdered in town. Should probably talk to someone about it. Just find it. Says a lot about the state of a town if you find dead bodies lying around somewhere. In the first 2 seconds of going there, I should say. It says a lot. Okay, so Katra is in a weird state, I assume. They walk around Katra. Katra. Walking around. Entering Katra. This is a much more well-defended town than the last one I was in. Please do not walk on plants. Dance. A young woman wanders around the courtyard, preoccupied. She wears a brightly colored dress and is in quite a good mood. She nods to you. Good day, warrior. I am Nance, off from the weapon shop today and enjoying the town. I hope the weather is to your liking. She smiles. You work in the weapon shop? Is that your normal trade? No, sadly, I prefer to work with magical crafts. However, I lack the proper materials. And the last person I knew of tried to improvise down here met an ugly fate. Sounds interesting. Tell me about it. He tried to use an enchanted crystal to reverse the portal in Fort Avernum. Use it to create a gateway back to the surface. I don't know what he was thinking. The experiment nearly drove him nearly mad. The crystal got left behind in Fort Avernum. What happened to the crystal? Don't know. When I met the poor fellow later, he said that he left it at the base of a statue. For what little that's worth. If I'm ever back at Fort Avernum, I might look for it. Where did the enchanted crystal come from? Nobody knows. Strange blue crystals were scattered down here when the first humans arrived in Avernum. They're called wisdom crystals. When you stare into them, they talk to you, whisper things. Who made them? No one knows. I'd like to meet their makers, though. Whoever they are, they really knew how to enchant crystals. That's all for now. Thanks. Okay. What's in here? Jenny. There is a pregnant woman with long blonde hair behind the counter. A pungent smell comes from the pots bubbling by the fire behind her. Welcome to my shop, wanderer. I am called Jenny, alchemist of Katra. We have potions for sale. Not love mixtures or other such nonsense. My brews are the real item. Can you teach me some alchemy? She smiles apologetically. I'm afraid I don't sell my secrets. However, there is a mage visiting who mentions having some skill in alchemy. He's been staying around the bar. His name's Koenig. You might ask him. When are you expecting? In 3 months, I hope. Thank you for asking. I am nervous, as you can well imagine. What worries you? Motherhood is terrifying in the best of times, but here, in the underworld, she sighs. And yet, for all its misery, this is our land. If we don't have children, we have truly surrendered to the Empire. That's all for now, thanks. Okay. And walking around. Walking around town. Katra tunnels. Oh, that's the tunnels of Katra. Underneath the town of Katra. Oh, look at that. Job board. Delivery for Mello. I delivery for Mello. I won't even take any of these quests. I'm just gonna walk around town a little bit. This statue of a bent old man. When you look at it closely, you see he's looking back. Hello, statue. All right, living statue, talking statue. I'm gonna go find somebody to. Oh no, wait, wrong button. I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to find. There's a tunnel downstairs. Koenig, Elizabeth. And that's the innkeeper, Asp. Do you know that there are 2 dead people in the east wall? No, I had no idea. Good day. Need to find the friggin' mayor. I need to report a dead body, and these people are not. There's City Hall. Paul. A wiry, nervous man sits behind the desk. He has a long, frazzled hair and an aggressively growing bald spot. I am Paul, he mutters. I am Mayor Steele's secretary. What do you need? Excuse me, can I speak with the mayor? I'm the secretary to his lordship, Mayor Steele. If you have some business with him, you have to go through me. But he's pretty busy with the prisoner business. You'll have better luck in the library. Then I'd like to speak with the mayor. Normally he loves to see people. However, the Nephirim to the north are holding some of our men prisoner. If I'd only bother him if it's really, really important. He's only been thinking about the prisoners. Where's the library? Door on the right. Not much there. Mostly records. But who knows? You might find a mage scroll. Anything is possible. I'm just going to leave and go. He doesn't want to talk, so I won't talk with him. That's cool. Candle. Oh, scroll. Group heal. Nice. He doesn't want to talk about the dead bodies in his town. It's not a very good leader. I've basically explored most of Katra. Arms and armor. Boat works. You enter the Katra boat works. Small crafts are everywhere in various stages of construction. When completed, they will be put on logs and rolled down to the water. It's very impressive. Avernum boats are small skiffs built from the light, spongy wood of the strange fungal cavewood trees. They float quite well, though boating on the subterranean rivers is perilous even in the best conditions. Rope, hammer, hatchets, dang, boards, wood. Just a bunch of little skiffs. You know what? I would have to do a bunch of quests to be able to report a murder to the mayor. It's a little sleazy. I've been doing this for an hour and a half, so I'm going to probably hit Silvar, or reach Silvar, and then turn off the game, or end the stream. Silvar. Let me explore around Silvar first. Look at that. See? Healing herbs. Nothing. Bum, 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 bum. So far, exploring around the outsides of town like this, I found a couple bodies. And what's this? A healing potion. Nice. Very important for a low-level barbarian tank to have healing abilities. The ability to restore them hit points. You enter one of Avernum's cities. Well, they would call it a city. By Empire standards, it's a miserable collection of crumbling stone hovels perched on the shore of a black, icy river. The dim green glow from the luminescent mosque above gives everything an eerie look. As you enter, one of the guards mutters, "Welcome to Silvar, newcomer. Strangers are welcome here. If they watch themselves, they wave you by." And I can go. Rations and supplies. There's the mayor's room. Well, I'm going to save. Gang. Nah, Gangweed's probably too much. So just do gang. Alrighty. That's good enough for today. I'm going to end the streaming here. I just saved it, so no, I don't need to save it after saving. Okay, so that would be... Wow, it's been an hour, 45 minutes. I thought it was an hour and a half. I've been playing this a lot longer than I thought. But, yeah. I thank you if you watched my stream, but, I'm going to probably let my throat rest for talking for like 2 hours straight. I'm not used to doing that. So, you guys have a great evening if you're watching this.